episode 16 of the Cloudset. Did we had to delay last week, right? No, we postponed it. We postponed last week because it just things happened. Things happened and then just postponed. But everyone, we are here. I'm sure as you guys can tell, we are missing someone. I wonder who we're missing. Yuri, do you have any idea of who we're missing?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I don't know. Gazers, do you guys have any idea of who we're missing? Because normally, I know there's normally 3 of us. But there's only 2 of us today. And as you can see, the background is different. There's only 2 tables. Huh. I wonder. Who are we missing? I don't know. I can't place it. I can't place it either. Maybe something to do with
anyway.
Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just us, you know, it doesn't I'm sorry. I tried to stay serious as long as I could.
You failed.
Ayumi's not here with us. She is currently out of town. So, she is doing her own thing, and she'll be back when we do the next thing. For those of you who are watching Ayumi stream, she is on height.
You mean like next month she'll be back?
You're right. Yeah, I was about to talk about that. For those of you who watched Ayumi stream, she is on hiatus. The first week was her trip, and then the rest of the week she's on hiatus. Not rest of the week, rest of the month she's on hiatus. So what does that mean? Well, it means no more Ayumi streams for the next month. But it also means you'll get me and Yuri for Cloudset. Just me and Yuri. And then it also means that daily Lyn streams. So that's I'm doing that, but that's not for Cloudset. Cloudset is continuing. Sorry about the delay on episode 15. We had to make sure that there wasn't anything in it that could do anything. So once I was given the okay, I posted it. So yeah, episode 15 out on Spotify, out on YouTube, out on other popular podcast programs. We are currently live streaming on Twitch, as you guys can see, and this will also be on Spotify. So hello, Spotify. You guys are called Gazers. As we determined a couple podcasts ago, you guys, the listeners of the Cloudset, have been officially determined as the Cloud Gazers. So, Cloud Gazers, are you guys ready for episode 16? I think we are. I am Lyn, the conqueror of Kaiden. And this is Yuri, the goddess of the cosmos. And I'll let her do her own introduction. I've learned many times to not introduce them because are you speaking for me, Lyn? Are you saying I'm not good enough? Da 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 da. We know the drill. So, Yuri.
I mean, there's really nothing else much to add, I don't think, other than, you know, you just said who I was, so. Just spoke for me, Lyn.
Lyn, I figured you'd do a whole cool introduction kind of thing. How, like, I'm Lyn, the conqueror of Kaiden, fighting the battle to defend Groira from subjugation. I made that all.
So you want me to give a novella, basically. Just explain this character.
I mean, do whatever you want to do to introduce yourself.
No, you already said it. There's really nothing to add.
All I said was you're the goddess of the cosmos. That's it.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
There's not more? There's not more? Come on. I mean, tell us a little bit about what you rule. Tell us a little bit about your power.
That's an extensive.
Okay, give us a one sentence. Describe yourself in one sentence.
OP as fuck.
Okay. Do you have a particular favorite galaxy?
The one I'm currently residing in.
The Milky Way?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that.
Ah. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, okay. So, as you know, I just came back from a month on set. I was working on Gazers. I was working on Is It Cake season 4. And just on Wednesday was my last day. And I have a sweatshirt and it's a zip up. Yuri, I've shown you. I've shown Ayumi. I've shown a couple people. And it is glorious. I have Netflix on one arm, I have crew on another arm, and then I have the Is It Cake logo on the left shoulder, the left like chest, top chest where a pocket is. And it is very, very, very good. It makes me feel very official. I need to wash it because it's all covered in fucking cat hair and stuff because of one of the cats. So now I need to wash it. And I had to jump a fence, and so it's also got covered in leaves and stuff. Don't ask me why I was jumping a fence. Just know that I had to jump a fence. I have a feeling Yuri's just over there. She's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, Lyn?"
What? Fence?
What?
Why did you jump a fence?
Reasons. Good reasons.
Oh my goodness, reasons. Okay. If you guys don't know, Lyn likes to keep everything very vague, but he absolutely wants you to know that stuff is going on. He just doesn't want to give you any detail, but he still wants you to be interested. But you can't carry a conversation or keep it interesting because he doesn't want to share it.
Okay, I had to jump a fence so I could get into the house. That's all. Into the house that my mom is at.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. That's the story. It's more interesting if I just say I had to jump a fence, because then you're like, what? Huh? Whereas when I give you the actual reasoning, it's boring. I had to jump a fence so I could go into the house. Simple.
Okay, well that's reason enough. Like, why else would you just, I don't know, just not say anything?
But yeah, so I got off of set of Is It Cake, and by the way, best production crew that I have ever worked with. The production department, phenomenal. Like, these guys are amazing. They're very professional, but they also love their job. They also are very much like just having fun. They're not so like struck up and hung up about specific things. Everyone's professional, so they're making jokes and stuff on the walkie and stuff. But when a time is, they're professional when they need to be, and it's good. Like, it was a really, really, really good production. I kid you not. I got so like production mindset. It's taken me a couple days just to not start being like copy you, copy that, copy, to anything anyone would ever say to me. Like, if Yuri asked me a question while I'm in the production mindset and I answered, or was like, Lyn, I needed to go do this, and I'd be like, copy you, and then go and do that. Because it's very much a production mindset. That's kind of like how your etiquette and your work ethic completely is changed. Your general flow, you change because you're working such long hours. And I'm talking 14 hours, 16 hours. I had like 2 or 3 16-hour days on this production. And my average days were 14 hours. Because it was only like 3 miles away. I would wake up an hour early before my call time. And I'd leave the house by 30 minutes before my call time. And I'd get there usually about 15 minutes before my call time. So it gives me a little bit of a buffer. And yeah. Yuri, what do you want to know about my time on Is It Cake?
Did you eat any of the goods?
No, I didn't.
What? You guys get any?
No, we didn't. And also,
Yeah, that's so
some people. No, well, actually, the thing is, we lucked out. Most the people who did, everyone just told us like, yeah, it tasted like crap. It tasted bad. Like, it didn't taste good from what I was hearing. And I even if I had the option to, I was not going to, because here's the thing. I saw how long these cakes were worked on. I'm not kidding when I say a singular cake could have human hands touching it for for literally days on end. Like as I saw like one cake get worked on for 3 days. And that means there's human hands touching it. It's out in the open. It's kind of wherever. And then I'm supposed to try and eat that? Nah. Nah, no thank you. No thank you. That just kind
Okay,
of bleh.
okay, so I've never watched this show. So like, is
Neither
the
have
goal
I.
just to make sculptures out of it? Like
Okay,
that's it? They
so
like
this
sculpture and to also be ate or what?
So it's a competition show. And
Right.
the goal is to make your cake look as hyper realistic to your decoys. So let's say you have a pumpkin, you have a pumpkin, you want to make your cake look as realistic to a pumpkin as possible. And then the judges come in and they have to guess, okay, which one is cake? And if they don't guess your cake, you have fooled the judges and you move on. If they guess your cake, you are eliminated. Um, and then there's challenges and stuff, but essentially it's the judges eat the baker's cakes, but like the other challenges and stuff where cakes are made and stuff, like no one really eats that cake. The only cakes that get eaten are the cakes that the baker's made, and only the judges eat those because like the rest we just throw away. And also food shows, like, and this is just one show. There is so much garbage. Like when it comes, like just food garbage. There's just so much, and it's also like it's very expensive to do productions like this. Like you have all your cooking equipment, you have all the supplies, you have everything, and then it's just like we had like 100-person crew. Like we had 100 walkies that I had to turn in, so we had over 100-person crew at times. Um, it's always when I start talking that I start yawning. Always, always. But it was like it was good, and we filmed 2 portions. We filmed a Halloween portion, and we filmed a holiday portion. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, and it was good. It was very good. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really transitioned into the mindset of the crew because it was day by day. Like I just everything around me faded. Like it was okay. I did my day on set. I come home. I call someone, and then I go to bed. Not really much time for like anything else. That's like the only times I streamed was my days off, and even then I didn't stream. So it was very tiring, but it was my favorite production I've worked on so far, and I hope to work more in the future. So yeah, that was my experience on. I mean, there's more I can obviously go into say. I just off the top of my head, that was my experience on it. It was very good. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I'll
What?
watch this show at some point. So I think we'll have to sit down and watch this show at some point because it's like I was under the impression it's a competition show that, but they also had to make the stuff taste good and for it to be edible.
No, the judges eat it, but the whole premise of it, it's like they're like, oh yeah, let's go and okay, tell us about your cake. And I'm like, yeah, so I made a da 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 da. But it's not about the taste of the cake. It's about the look of the cake. Um, if you want a good cooking show with actual like attention to like flavor and look of things, MasterChef is a good one. I personally recommend MasterChef. I like watching MasterChef. I need to continue watching it actually. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, I like that one, but like
mm, but like what?
I just thought, like I said, I just thought this one would, also include it for it to be taste good. And here you're like, oh no, everything tasted awful. And it's like, oh, that's shocking. I think
Yeah,
that's what I'm pretty much hung up on right now.
yeah. That's from what crew were telling me. They told me that most of the cakes tasted bad, like tasted bad. And I don't know if they're talking about the baker's cakes or they're talking about the actual cakes that like the culinary department made.
Right.
But the cakes were beautiful. Like they were beautiful. Like you could I sometimes I genuinely was like, is that really cake? Because what they would do, they would get the decoys and they would make it so that the decoys looked like they were cake. And so when you see them all side by side, you're like, whoa, which one is actually cake? And so you're fooled. You're fooled into believing that one is cake. And then many times people were getting fooled. They're like, oh, that one was not cake. Oh no. So yeah, stuff like that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was very interesting. And it's
Okay.
like it was very cool to see the process of everything get made. Like it's a simple show, you would think. It's very simple. Well,
Mhm.
pretty complex actually. Like they had 9 cameras. 9 cameras. One of them was mounted on a jib, which is a crane. And then the nine they were moving around all over the place. So like, and then just the stuff that goes into it, it's like, yeah, uh, quite there's quite a lot that goes into these shows. It's not just a cut and dry. Okay, we're gonna bake and then we're gonna do this. No, there's actually quite a lot of prep that goes into it. And
It's
I,
probably just like with any, there's going to be prep to it. So.
oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, on the towards our on our wrap day, like the last camera day, we had Netflix gave us a coffee truck, and it was good. Like I'm on my lunch.
Mhm.
I called ayumi, and I was like, okay, I need you to help me decide which thing do I get because it's all free. And so I had a caramel blended first, and then I had a berry smoothie, and then I had a white chocolate blended. And then it was gone. I had 3 large blendeds and I was just like, "Oh, I'm done. But I want more and it's free. I want more." But then it was gone.
Mhm. Oof.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. I like coffee trucks. Like I kept going if it was around for more than 3 hours. It was there from 1 to for 2 hours. It was there from 1 to 3. Um, if it was there for more than that, I would have definitely gotten probably a 4th one or a 5th one, most likely.
Lynn just out here wired up on espressos.
Hey, I started. I'm sure you saw my daily tweets of coffee. Like I started just daily tweeting the coffees that I was getting because
I
we
see
we had a coffee bar.
them. You guys have so much. But
Hmm.
also, photo like y'all's little snack food corner thing, whatever that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, crafty. Yeah, that was definitely the best crafty selection that I've ever had on any production that I've worked on. Like we had a whole slew. Just like sometimes I just walk out there and be like, I want something, but what do I want? There's so many options, and then sometimes I just be like, you know, I'm just gonna go back inside because I just couldn't decide. Sometimes I grab a Rice Krispie, sometimes I grab a cheesesteak, sometimes I grab some chips, but other than that, I wouldn't really grab much. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So, yeah, that was my experience on Is It Cake season 4. Definitely best production I've ever worked on, and I look forward to hopefully fingers crossed Netflix decides to renew it, and I will get on for season 5.
Maybe.
Maybe,
You
maybe,
never know.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know when this season's supposed to release. Talk is that it will be next year most likely. But I don't know because it's not really like it's not going to be this year as much as I hoped it would be. It's not going to be this year. So, uh,
Just
something relating the production department. The production department, obsessed, obsessed with with House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, and they got me. It's like I'm now starting to rewatch it.
Not
Uh,
watched it.
you've not watched it? Okay, okay, okay. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Mhm. Um, I don't remember what season I was in, but it was super early in the series still, so I have not watched all of Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Though we do have the books and they're kind of get me on the shelf, so I was like, I could just skip all that and go straight to reading.
you could, you
But
could.
I do know like it ends completely different than how the books did, and like I do know, that whole entire thing with I think her name was like Daenerys, how they changed her from the book and it upset people so much.
Oh yeah, season 7 is everyone does not like season 7. I only watched honestly like the best part of season 7 is just you kind of watch it to get the conclusion. Like you get the white soldiers battle, like that big battle that we spend 6 seasons building up to. Like you kind of want to watch it for that and that only, and like then you can kind of do
Mhm.
without the rest. Because the rest is just kind of meh. I really did not like what they did. Like they did not end the story well.
Gotcha, gotcha.
But it's like at the same time, it's like they had nothing to base it on. So I mean, I can't harm them for it because George R. R. Martin, like he wasn't done writing when they got to season 7 and they needed to end the show, and so they had to write their
Yeah.
own stuff, and it's unfortunate. It really is because it could be so good, but you can tell when they ran out of source material. Because once they ran out of source material is when it became bad. And I'm not like speaking out of turn or whatever because it's just like that's just the general public's opinion of season 7 of Game of Thrones is that it wasn't good because they ran out of source material. And that's the thing. Like that's something that's so hard for I think shows is like if you're going to base something on source material, do not drive away from the source material because it will
Right.
never go well. We see it with The Witcher as well. They went away from the source material and you can tell. And it's not good. It's like, "Oh, we want to do it like this because the audience will want this more." Well, guess what? The audience really did not like what you did, and then also the cast did not like what you did. Like, Henry Cavill, he left The Witcher because they went away from the source material,
Yeah.
and
But
he
I
is.
remember all that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's like okay, so I haven't played the games, I haven't read the books, so I'm fully aware of them. So don't fully come at me, all right? But my brother is the one who like plays the games, things like that. So it's like I'm in the know, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the know enough like where I can be like, oh hey, here's how I did it in the lore. But still, even then, it's like when I heard, I think by like season 2, all the stuff when that came out, they're saying like they're changing everything and Henry was leaving. I was so disappointed because I was enjoying season 1 so much. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, season
oh
one is
no, don't make
so good.
it's like don't make it bad. I'm like I'm loving every bit of this. Don't do that to me.
I didn't even finish season 2. I couldn't. It was just like I couldn't finish it. I was just like everything felt wrong. It just felt so different.
It's like I feel bad in a way because I laughed at this when I read it, but someone said it's like when someone says like, "Hey, mom, can we get The Witcher?" and the mom's like, "Oh, hey, we have Witcher at home," and it is like the Timu version of Witcher is what they called it
Oh my
when
god.
after Henry left. And I'm just like, that's so awful, but so funny. This is like poor oh god, what's his name? Liam, I think is what who took over? Liam Hemsworth in it that took over the role of Witcher.
Huh?
So I think like it's Liam Hemsworth that took over for The Witcher. That took over Henry's spot, was it
Yes,
not?
yes. Liam Hemsworth took over Henry's spot. Yes,
Yeah,
and
so what I was saying. It says it's like
and I feel
everyone's like
bad
he's the
for him.
Timu version. Like that's so awful.
I feel bad for
Yeah.
him because like I know he's a good actor, and it's like it's so much bad luck for him.
Yeah,
But
it's a really fortunate thing because like, he was handed what he was handed. That's that's all you can do. Like, it's
Mhm.
literally not his fault because there's so much backlash that's coming at him for it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I really don't like when shows just go away from the source material because I mean, why? Why? What do you gain out of it every single time? Every single time, it's always been bad. It's always been bad.
Yep. Really fucking unfortunate.
But I also really like I'm trying to think. There's another show that's really good. Oh, Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. I don't. I feel like they do it really well. That they use the source material really well, but they change elements and change general things, but they don't go away from the source material.
I should never even read it.
Oh, you should. I think you'll really like Wheel of Time if you like fantasy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, you know I do, so.
I think you'll really like it. It's definitely a heavy read, but not as heavy as like Lord of the Rings. It's like modern day heavy read, and it's very good.
Mhm. Yeah. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, so yesterday we went out to celebrate my nephew's 12th birthday, right?
Oh,
And his gift from my parents was the extended editions of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings DVD Blu-ray set.
ooh, nice, nice,
And
nice,
he's
nice.
so excited 'cause, like, he loves Lord of the Rings.
As he should, as he should.
And I was like, "Oh, as he should." I was like, "Yes, a nerd in the making, one of us." Like, "You are my nephew."
You're like, and now all I have to do is get you into reading books, and then you're 100% mine.
He's wanting to read the Lord of the Rings, and which I told him, and I told his parents because his mom, who's my sister, and she asked me because we was in the bookstore one day, and she asked me, she goes, "Hey," she said, she's like, she's like, "Where would I find the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings?" I said, "Oh, you're gonna find that in fantasy section right over here." I said I was heading that way. You wanna come with me? And she was asking about it, and I was just like, "Well, does he like reading?" She's like, "Well, yeah, he does." I was just like, "What kind of reading?" Because at the time he was like 11, now he's 12.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was playing, I'm like, it's kind of heavy. I'm like, it's very wordy. I'm like, nothing really inappropriate, I would say, in it that I wouldn't think that a 12-year-old couldn't read in it. I said, but it's more so it's like knowing that he is 12 and giving the attention span of 12-year-olds, especially in today's age, how that attention span has shortened so much. And it's just like he might lose interest in it really quick for the fact that it is so wordy and so descriptive heavy, and that it could be a little bit confusing because there's just so much in it. I was like, do I think he would be disappointed or not enjoy it? No, I just think it would be a little bit more difficult for him to read. So I was like, maybe when he's a little bit older, maybe like 14, somewhere around there, 14, 15, he
Mm-hmm.
might enjoy the series better, reading wise.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so I'll let that be y'all's call. I was like, but I have it. I'm like, even for me, it was a bit of a heavy read, but that's just me. So I was like, but I still, very much enjoyed it. And I forgot to put the damn chickens up. Whoops.
Oh no.
And we won't mind my farming blunder right now. But anyway, um, so yeah, so he is all about Lord of the Rings right now and like anything Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. And he's like, I think there's supposed to be more coming out. I was like, I don't think so, buddy. Like Tolkien's gone, so all we have is what's left of him and what his children are okay to be put out. I'm like, but we'll see. I'm like, they might. Said I know they have like that show right now.
Oh
Give me one
God.
second.
Oh God. Rings of power. we.
I
Oh.
have no idea how, but he likes it, and I'm like,
Mm,
"I'm not saying nothing. You
don't.
enjoy it, kid.
Yeah. Let him enjoy
Let
it.
it."
Once he becomes a
Yeah, I was like,
fully
"Let."
fledged Tolkien fan, he will go back and be like, "Oh, this show's bad." Like, okay, okay, it's got many good elements, but overall the show is bad. From how they choreograph things to how it's very much Amazon's trying to make money out of something that was huge, and they're like, "Oh, we just need to do this and need to do this and need to do this," and they're not actually putting attention to detail. They're not thinking about stuff, and you can
Right.
tell. So we're hoping a lot of Tolkien fans are hoping that season season 2 will be better. We are hoping that it will be better.
Maybe.
Um, I really don't like what they did with many characters, and there's a lot of plot holes, and it's just bad. It's bad. Um, and you can tell Peter Jackson wasn't involved, which leads me to talk about Peter Jackson's working on more live action Lord of the Rings movies.
See,
So,
how like how well it's going to like. Where's he pulling his material from?
so the first live action movie, and it's going to be produced by Peter Jackson. And also, in terms of pulling the material, they have plenty of material to pull from. Tolkien's notes, the actual story, like the lore of Middle Earth is huge. It's just like they had to cut out so much in the they had to cut out so much in for the movies and changed a lot of things. But there's so much material. So in terms of material, they have plenty. So that's not a worry. But this is what they're doing. So the Hunt for Gollum is what the movie is called, and Andy Serkis, not only is he reprising the role of Gollum, he is going to be directing the Hunt for Gollum. He's the perfect person to direct it as well. Uh,
Hmm.
and he was also, and it's not like he hasn't directed before. During the filming, I believe, of Lord of the Rings and also The Hobbit, he was the second unit director. So basically, in the film industry, we have you'll have first unit and second unit, and sometimes you'll have third unit. But so first unit's the big unit, the main unit, and they're so I'll just use the actual example. Peter Jackson and most of the crew go on location and are filming the on location scenes, but stuff still needs to be filmed at the studio. So Andy Serkis was the director for the studio. And when I say like director, no, he was like the fully fledged director. He directed these scenes. He worked hand in hand with Peter Jackson at this they were co-directors. They made the story be. Like they both loved the Lord of the Rings so much that they were able to do this. So Andy Serkis was the second unit director for what was needed to be filmed on the stage at the studio. And so smaller crew, but still large crew. But second unit's typically much smaller than first unit. Um, but yeah, so Andy Serkis was the second unit director. So he's not only he has directed and he's directed other stuff as well. So he is very qualified to direct. But he's also going to be reprising the role of Golem. And as we know, Andy Serkis as a creature actor fucking phenomenal. Like he is whatever creature he is. I'm watching Planet of the Apes right now, and he plays Caesar, the ape, and like it's crazy how like everything is like it's so crazy how good he is because they're not it's like what CGI is the actual kind of look, but the actual movement and voice lines and acting, like and actual acting, is very much real. So yeah, Andy Serkis is the director for A Hunt for Gollum, and he is going to be working with Peter Jackson. And I believe another one of the original people from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit are going to be returning to make this. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the original crew got back together to film this movie. And there's also another Tolkien movie that they are making live action that Peter Jackson's going to be working on. I don't know if he's directing, and I know he's at least working on it. And it makes me so excited because Peter Jackson, like, he is the person to bring Tolkien to life. He is the person to bring Tolkien's work to life. He knows he knows Tolkien. He knows how, like, even with the Lord of the Rings, this, like, that was a point. He didn't want to change the story. He wanted to be as true to Tolkien as possible. He didn't want to he wasn't worried he didn't want to put his own message in a movie, because that's the thing. It's like a lot of directors want to put their own message into a movie. He was not focused on the message. He was like, we are going to put Tolkien's message. We are going to tell Tolkien's story. We are just bringing what Tolkien told us to the screen. And that in itself is I have so much respect. I have so much respect for Tolkien. I mean, for Peter Jackson, for just that simple thing of he did not want to change Tolkien's message and put his own message. He just wanted to bring it to the screen. That is so respectable and so admirable of him. So yeah, very much, really admire him for that. I'm so excited because that's exactly what he was trying to do. Like they had to change things for the screen, and they had to take out a lot of elements. But in terms of the actual message of the movie, he did not want to change a single bit. Did not want to put anything of his own messaging into the movie, as directors want to put their own messages into movies. No, he just wanted to tell Tolkien's story. So, like, that's so admirable of him. I am so excited. So, A Hunt for Gollum, basically, in the movie, you don't really get a sense of the time of how long this is, because it happens so quickly in the movie. But in the books, so okay, well, first there's a scene where Gandalf tells Frodo to keep the ring safe, to keep it hidden, and then he comes back in a panic, asking, "Where is it? Is it safe?" Something along those lines. So in the movie, these happen like very quickly next to each other. In the book, there's 17 years that pass between those two events. In the movie, it's a matter of minutes, I think. But in the book, it's 17 years, which is where the material comes from, for The Hunt for Golem, because there is so much material there. From but like I'm so excited because I don't know when this is going to come out. I'm hoping next year. I'm hoping, and I know it's going to be in the theater. It's going to be theater, and you bet I'm going to be in the theater. Like, the moment I get the trailer, like, that's the movie I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be in the theater. I'm going to have my snacks. I'm going to have my whatever. I'm going to sit down so that I can watch. I'm probably going to go on a Lord of the Rings Tolkien binge. I'm going to watch the Hobbit movies. I'm going to watch all the Lord of the Rings movies before this movie comes out. Like, I'm going to prepare. Huh. Hearing. Listening. All right, I'll just tell me in a minute. And I'm very, very intrigued on what the next movie is. We don't know any details of it. We don't know the details of what the next movie that Peter Jackson is working on is going to be, but we know he's working on it, and it's going to be exciting. I mean, like, let me Google it right now. Peter Jackson Tolkien movies. New Peter Jackson. Yeah. Okay. So here's this article. Peter Jackson working on new Tolkien films. Warner Brothers is now in early stages of script development for the first of the new Lord of the Rings movies. Welcome back. We anticipate releasing in 2026 and will explore stories lines yet to be told. Peter Jackson and his longtime writing partners Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens are producing and will be involved every step of the way. Fuck yes. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. So happy to hear. Um, but I will make.
Was that we should watch the movies together?
Yes, we should definitely watch the movies in preparation. It'd be so fun. One of the Rings. Yeah. So.
Like
Oh.
maybe Ayumi into it because she's never
Oh yeah.
seen
Oh
them.
yeah. No, I've made this a point. I'm like, Ayumi, I don't you are going to watch these movies. You need to watch these movies. You need to at the minimum watch them one time. because
Everyone's gonna experience movies at least one time.
you can't you like if you don't want to if you don't ever watch them again, that's fine. That's fine. If you don't ever watch them again, that's fine. Maybe I'll be a little sad that you don't, but that's fine. You need to at least watch them once, each movie once. Like and you have to. Like okay, if you can't sit and be like you can't be like a person who's never seen Lord of the Rings and only watch one movie, and you have to watch them in order. Like you need to watch Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King, because each one
Yeah.
has information from the other. It's one long movie, and it's told so well. Even I've watched the extended cuts. You can sit there for 4 hours and watch the entire thing, and you're just like, wow. And more could be told. That's the crazy thing. Like these movies with the extended cuts, more could be told. They had to limit themselves because it's such a good story. Like Tolkien, when he wrote a Tolkien verse, when he created Middle Earth, he created something to a level that we may never see again for at least the next 100 years. Dune is like, and remember like what I was talking about in previous episodes, how Lord of the Rings is the standard for high fantasy cinema. Dune is the standard for sci-fi cinema. For like that, I that is something that I will believe in, because these movies, like, here's what's different about them compared to 90% of movies that release nowadays. They actually care. What I mean by that, I don't mean people don't care. I mean they're not driven by money for these stories. They were given the money they needed, and they were focused on telling a good story, as true of a story, and they refused to let it be bad. Like the first Dune movie, very good. Second movie, I have even better. Like it's crazy to me that, because it's a very common thing that a sequel will always be worse than the prequel, the movie that it was the movie before it. Not in Dune's case, not in the Lord of the Rings case. Except the prequel. The prequel in Lord of the Rings is worse than the movies. Like the Rings of Power, worse than the movies. Sorry, anyone that might like it. I have, as a Tolkien fan who's done things, there are so many issues I have. I'll break it down one scene in particular, where an elf is fighting an orc. So it's broken down by someone who actually fights. In Lord of the Rings, we get another comparison. We had a scene-to-scene comparison. So we had Aragorn fighting the Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And then we have, I forgot the elf's name, and fighting an orc. So we get a prelude of the thing. We get to see the terrain. We get to see why it takes Aragorn so long to get to this fight. Rings of Power, we're already there. They somehow managed to instantly get there We don't have a sense of time. We don't have a sense of anything. Okay, whatever. Very nitpicky detail. We go for a punch. Okay, you do thing. Here's where it gets like, okay, you're fighting to the death, fighting to the death. Well, if you're fighting to the death, you're actually fighting to the death, right? Well, in Aragorn and Fellowship of the Ring, Aragorn and the Uruk-hai, yes, like every single move, it's a fight to the death. It's very fast paced. It is like not every single second you're on the edge of your seat because you feel like every single second he could die. He could do one move and he's dead. He messes up this one move and he's dead. Yeah, in Rings of Power, he's knocked down to the point of he's about to die. Like, okay, he knocks down the elf to a point where it's like, okay, I can do the killing blow to you right now. Nope. The orc decides to throw the elf instead. Just throw him. Why? To throw him. Fellowship of the Ring. Aragorn is pinned against the tree. He is fighting for the inch of his life he's scrambling to get his head out from the shield because the Uruk-hai is throwing the sword. The Uruk-hai, and he makes it out by mere seconds, and it's not like it's mere seconds from being dead. Yeah, we go and look at the fight in Rings of Power. He's thrown like mere second, like he's knocked down to the ground. Like 10 seconds past that, a killing blow could have been dealt. Nope, gonna throw you against the wall. So when I say Rings of Power is worse than the movies, I mean Rings of Power is worse than the movies. I mean, and I don't mean to say that there aren't good elements. Like, I'm very intrigued about many of the elements. They are telling a story about stuff that we haven't seen. But come on, it could be better. It really could. Anyways, I will stop being Tolkien criticism on Rings of Power.
Who knew we'll get Lyn started on his rant?
I'm passionate. What can I say? I'm passionate. And I'm biased to Peter Jackson. Like, anything Peter Jackson is much better. Like, and you can tell, but at the same time, I'm not biased because I am biased because I know he will actually do a good job. I know he will get the story right. He will tell it as it needs to be told. And because he focuses on the details that most people don't. And that is why he is a very unique director. That is why he is a very unique filmmaker, because most don't pay attention to a lot of details. Sure, people may say like people didn't like The Hobbit as much as they liked Lord of the Rings. There was a little too much CGI usage, sure. But here's the thing, The Hobbit was still good. The Hobbit was still a good movie. They were still good movies. They still told the story. It's just there was a little too much CGI. And that's fine. That's fine. That's a little nitpicky thing that I'm okay with. Like, I prefer the practical costumes, but a little bit of CGI is okay. I mean, yeah, sure, it's too much CGI. That I'm fine with the movies having that because they're still good movies. I really enjoy Far Over the Misty Mountains Cold song, or the Misty Mountains song. Like, that is a very, very good song.
That's a really good song.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's my little, I'm so excited for these new movies. 2026, gonna be great. And now I think this is great because we're in the middle of storytelling to tell you, Yuri, I have been reading. I'm in like chapter 23 now. I'm at the point of we just learned about the death gods from the Bone Carver. And Nesta. Oh my, what is she? Like Farah probably said it, like, her eyes. What, like, the fact that everyone was like, what are you? And then, like, after Farah talked to the Bone Carver, she's like, she is death. Or she does something with death. And it really makes, like, if
you remember from the second book, Farah's apparently said that Nesta came out differently So much says she felt like as though like when the cauldron shook or whatever, she says like Nesta took something from the cauldron.
Yeah, and like that's something that's
That's
been
like
touched
Nesta,
on.
she stole this from the cauldron, like she ripped it from it,
And the thing
basically,
is, no one knows what she
or from
took, but it
something.
scares everyone because
Yeah.
we don't know what she took. She like even Amrin like she is like, when you have your moment, explode, let yourself explode, let the world hear your explosion, or whatever the line was. Like that in itself, like Amrun is probably the only one that really comprehends what Nesta is, but
Hmm.
I don't even think she fully comprehends, because this is a cauldron. And
She gets it. She knows that she went. Okay, so when you get to chapter 27, you'll get a little bit more of Amren's backstory, and
oh,
it'll make sense as to why Amren recognizes kind of like the predicament that which Nesta has put herself in,
mm-hmm.
and why she understands and why she wants to help Nesta. Why she was the one who volunteered, said, "Hey, let me teach her, let me train her." You will understand why she says that, and it makes sense.
Okay. I look forward to getting to that point. Yeah, I'm like, it's so great. Like, there's also a line that Farah said that really made you think. I was like, oh my god, you're right. She asked, how long were they in the cauldron? Because for them, it was
Yeah.
seconds. But
It
for
was only like minutes at most, but
but
she
what
said for
about
them it like
we? Who
God.
knows how long they were in the cauldron for? And
Yeah.
and then also just Nessa being like, I went also like Farah and Nessa, they're actually like kind of talking a little bit more. And Elaine, like Elaine moved. Like Elaine went out somewhere by herself. And also she talked to Lucian. Like
Yeah. She did.
she talked to Lucian. Now, like whether something will come of it or not, I don't know, but the fact is simple, Elaine and Lucian are mates. Um and I don't know what's going to happen there, but the simple fact is simple. I know I said simple twice. The fact is simple.
She did.
Elaine talked to Lucian. She hasn't really talked to anyone. And she like actually kind of like held a conversation with him, which was surprising. I was surprised by that. And then I really like how when Farah was talking with Nesta, and Nesta like actually kind of like talked with Farah, and Farah told like, I made it give something back. Just that line, um just that simple thing of, I made it give something back.
Hmm.
She took control of the thing that created everything.
Yeah.
That is
Um.
that is
So okay,
crazy.
we'll touch more on that in chapter 27.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's not really a spoiler because there's a line that Nesta says. She says there is a balance. She said
Oh.
there's a give and there's a take. She's like there is a price for what we are,
Mm-hmm.
and she she says to Feyre, she says maybe that price was Elaine's youth, meaning her human youth, and her her sanity, her gracefulness, all that stuff, that everything that made her human. She said maybe that was Nesta's, not Nesta's. That maybe that was Elaine's, because right now Elaine is she's not okay,
No, she is not okay.
and she's definitely traumatized, like very
Oh,
traumatized,
very
and
much
this
so.
her how she is acting. It's like kind of she regressed into herself, almost childlike in a way, and she's grieving and everything's like that. So it's like she's not okay. Whereas we also know Nesta's not okay. Nesta has not been okay throughout this whole entire series, human wise or after. Um, but Nesta's, like she said, she said maybe my price was to see Elaine suffer. So she tells Feyre,
Oh.
she says, for us to be what we are, she said we had to give something up.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that getting turned by the cauldron, yeah, you get the Fey abilities. You may get the special magic powers, or you may just get the enhanced hearing and sight and agility. Just that's just a little bit better than humans. And your parents change you because it's ethereal, like beauty. You're forever youthful and you're immortal. And the only thing that can kill the fake, is the ash wood.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. And she's like, but there's a price for it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ooh, so, and she's only speculating, like so when you read it, when you read that, they'll understand. But it's just like, so, like, what actually did they give up? What is the cost of all of this? Is there even a cost for using the cauldron? Because the king keeps using the fucking cauldron over and over. Though right now they have to let it
Oh.
recharge because, Nesta, like we said, Nesta favors words where she thinks that Nesta took more power than the cauldron could, hold or intended to give or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nesta literally stole this power from the cauldron. It was not meant for her.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting how this comes out.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. Uh, sorry, I just got a message. It will be very interesting to see what happens there because, like, I'm so intrigued, and I'm wondering, like, Farah's price, her price that she had to give was probably her life because she died. The
Yeah,
only.
I would say I would say yeah, that was it. That's what Feyre done. But again, she was turned by all the High Lords.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't turned by herself. She was turned by the High Lords. So in a
Yeah.
way, it was different. And again, yeah, it makes sense. Her price was literally her life. Like her neck, like we said in there, like her neck was snapped, and Reese screamed for her,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like chaos, like completely erupted.
Yep.
So yeah, I would say that is Feyre's price. It was the trials and everything that she had went through. Like she's earned the right to be what she is.
Mm-hmm. She has, and, like, more so, and I don't think we even fully, like, I don't even think we've seen her really, like, powerful. Like, we've seen hints of her power. I don't think we've really seen her true power yet.
Yeah,
She.
no, we have not seen her like kind of really go off, but I'll be glad when that day does come when you see her finally just unleash it. But also, the same thing can be said about Reese. We haven't seen him at his full extent either.
Yeah, we don't. We like he is
We
he.
just know
We you just,
stuff,
like,
but
you feel his power. You feel it. Like, he is the most powerful being there is right now in
yeah,
Prithian. You
everyone's
know it.
afraid, but it's like, but other than his mental powers, like what else can Reese do?
What is his power?
Just like, how powerful is Reese? So I was like, like I'm so curious, and I would love to see the other two Bat Boys kind of like finally get cut loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm looking forward to that. Just seeing the Bat Boys just kind of just unleash them on the battlefield. Let's see what they can do. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm
But
I'm I'm looking at on that aspect. It's like I hate a war is coming to them, but I mean without this war we wouldn't have a story. But still it's
yeah,
just like I get
war does make good story. I mean, I hate to say it, it's true.
I mean, even your old book has it's about war. So I mean,
I mean, war does tend to give good story. I mean, Lord of the Rings, it's based on the oncoming war from the Dark Lord. I like.
yeah, I mean, even my OC is like, how'd she become to be? Oh well, she got all her powers and experience from just fighting in continuous wars.
And
So I
then,
mean,
like, Wheel of Time, it's about an oncoming war, a previous war. Like, I mean, it's okay. Like, war, as brutal and as terrible as it is, it
it's
it's
a good story
such a
writing tool.
good story. You can tell a very good story by having war as the focus. Like, in the case of in our case of the of like Snowfall, like, you can have, and Fourth Wing, you can have entire military bases like an entire school, an entire education system, an entire government, an entire system world just based around the concept of war. Like the fourth wing, the war's been going on what 600 years against the wyvern and the dragons. So I mean, like, war in itself is a very storytelling concept. You can't just be like, oh yeah, we have a war, good side, bad side. No, you do need to have good. You need to. There's art to it, but it can breed a very good story. It really can.
Okay. Keep yapping. I actually need to go pee really, really bad. I'm sorry.
All right, all right. Like in terms, I mean, okay, look on this for those watching the video recording of the podcast. If you can look around me, we have like a war room behind me. Like, come on, like, and talk about the amount of different artworks and things that you can get like based on around war. Like, I mean, even my wallpaper like is me and Ayumi on the battlefield. Like my main monitor's wallpaper is just me and Ayumi on the battlefield. Like fantasy warfare, but also modern warfare too. Just modern warfare is very different. Personally, I don't like I really like it is very interesting to me to watch documentaries of World War II. Um but like in terms of like storytelling, I always prefer I really enjoy fantasy warfare. I really medieval fantasy warfare, so Lord of the Rings, with elements of magic. I don't want it to be like too crazy magic and stuff. Like I mean, I say that as I'm reading acotar, but I mean, still acotar is also good. But like Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, um, like it's all medieval fantasy warfare, swords and battles and orcs and what hand to hand combat with like catapults and horse riding and cavalry charges and huge armies that are traveling for days, for weeks to get to marching for hours on hours, carrying wearing armor, wearing their weapons. Like I mean, come on, that's a very very storytelling aspect. And like in storytelling, if you can really portray like a scale of an army, then like you are really, really good. Oh, I apologize. I've been yawning a lot. Yawn, 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 yawn. I don't know.
Stop that yawning, man.
It's just, welcome back.
Thanks. Now stop yawning.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Listen.
But yeah.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just saying, listen to say it.
No, but it's like, was it with Snowfall? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you to like be done with that series. Like, I want to read it right now. I want to know what's happening, what's going on. So much to the point of like, just tell me everything, spoil it all. I'll still read it. Just tell me.
Yeah,
And
I'm excited, like, cause I'm really intrigued to see what I do with dragons, because I have the general concept in my mind, and I just need to get to that point. I need to finish rewriting chapter 1, and I need to finish. Then I need to rewrite chapter 2, and then we continue on. We got what 3 chapters written, and then I need to actually sit down and write. I'm also, oh yeah, I'm very excited to be not chat, gazers. I'm an art creator now. I'm an official art creator now.
you are.
Of Flames and Fallacies. 14th is when I'm going to be getting the ebook. On the 14th.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And so that's when I'm going to get to read it. That's when I'm going to get to read it. I'm going to read the full thing, and then I'm going to leave a review, an honest review. And then, yeah, we're going to have fun. It's going to be fun. Because that first chapter intrigued me. Like, it really did. What did you think of the first chapter of that?
I haven't read it yet. Shocking.
You're the
I didn't
one
get
who
a chance.
sent it to me.
I know. I was
How's it that you
weak.
sent it to me? I read it and then I became an ARC reader before you even read the first chapter.
Don't make me hurt you, Lyn.
I'm only speaking the
Don't.
truth.
Anyways,
She really does not like the fact that you didn't read the first chapter.
I will read it. All right. I'll
Okay.
have to find it and like pull it up and read it. But yeah,
Okay. Okay. It's just
no,
not.
I was busy.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
My kind of across it is like I got stuff to do, but like this intrigues me. Let me send this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
and then
became
you're like, hey,
and then I became an ARC reader.
yeah, like proud of you for that one.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, "Hey Yuri, what's an ARC reader exactly?" And you're like, "Okay, so this is basically the rundown." I was like, "All right," and then I went and I applied, and then here I am, having been selected. So yeah, I think that's kind of the stuff that we wanted to talk about today. We talked about, my time on set. We kind of dove into Tolkien, uh, dove into Tolkien work. I went into a little rant session. We talked a little bit about the story of acotar, and we did our thing
As per usual.
as per usual. And probably next time we'll probably turn this into more book club than than anything. Today is because I haven't for the last month I've been working, so I haven't read, so I didn't have really that much to pitch in reading wise.
You
Um,
haven't, you, you haven't reading, you haven't been doing anything of that, which I was like, so I was like, I know your monthly plan, but it's like, so, so when's the writing start back? When we scheduling that?
oh boy, yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. Gonna Probably during before I stream. I'm probably just gonna try and just write at some during before I start streaming stuff. So yeah, we'll schedule it.
He's sweating, guys. He's sweating. He's literally stuttering through this.
Yeah, I'm just like, when am I gonna do that? But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. I'm not worried. We'll get it done. And once I
Oh,
really
he's
get
not worried, but manager slash editor is worried.
manager slash editor, Yuri is about to be like, all right, I'm gonna start pulling out the guns. I need to get the sword ready. And let's see, what other weapons of torture can I grab to go grab Lyn? Okay, okay, okay. Lyn just approaches me
Yeah.
with all of the weapons on your bag. You're like, so, are you writing? No. Sword is thrown at my head. So, are you writing? No. Another sword is thrown at me
Just daggers to start coming at you.
until I answer the question the way you want.
Yep.
That is some shit Nyx would do. Nyx would be like, oh, like she wouldn't force you to do anything. She just would get the correct answer out of you. Is
Maybe.
that's the kind of vibe I get out of her. So, thank you everyone. Thank you Cloud Gazers for listening to episode 16. It was fun. Yuri, you got any closing thoughts?
Think so. I think, just yeah, just chilling, hanging out, catching up pretty much. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
And I was like, it's been good.
it has been.
Getting the nerd out and all that.
Well, everyone, we will see you next time in episode 17. Bye bye.